Okay, everybody don't mind the fact that I was just clapping like a dipshit. Marry me, everybody. It's Kai Thea here, and I have found a way to get more involved with my subscribers, which will be by doing live videos and stuff like that. I'm going to be calling this chat time. So this will be my time to making live videos to interact with everybody. One second, I need to get a drink. So, what should we discuss, everybody? What should we be talking about today? Boo. Hey girl, hey Brandy, what's up? But no, for real guys, come up with some ideas. What should we discuss today? It's just blank. It's not showing anything. Okay, I did not think this through. I did not think this all the way through. Let me start by just like saying my favorite things in the world, including all my witchcraft favorite things. Favorite scents in the... What? Good question. What drew me to the craft? Okay. Actually, what drew me to the craft was, I said it in my video before, ever since I was a child, I've always been obsessed with, like, the mage in all the movies, like, and every type of role-playing games, any type of movies like that, like Hocus Pocus, The Craft, Harry Potter, anything that dealt with magic or witchcraft, I was drawn to it. I always liked the mage and even video games and stuff like that. But when I was in, excuse me, high school, my freshman year, I was into the goth subculture. Still kind of am. And in discovering the goth culture, I actually picked up a book when I was a teenager called Gothcraft. I just thought it was a book about the goth subculture. I didn't know it had witchcraft in there. And in reading the book, I discovered that witchcraft, well, Wicca specifically, is a spiritual path. And based with my, not my parents, but my grandparents, and I was raised that witchcraft is evil, blah, 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 stay away from it. So I found this book, literally, and there was something in there. There was a passage in there about Wicca, and it was during a time period when I was not deistic. What the hell is it called? I forgot what it was called. It's when you're not sure if you believe in a god or not. I didn't know what I believed in at the time, and I picked up another book since that one talked about it. I looked up what Wicca was, and I kept picking up more books and more books. But also, and one thing before this, I was already into tarot cards and astrology before I discovered witchcraft because I was a huge astrology fan. I've been studying astrology since I was 12. But anyway, onwards, and I went from there, started picking up more books, and I started doing rituals. At first, I felt weird because of the fear that was installed into my head that it's evil and all this other bullshit, that I was going to go to hell or Satan's going to attack me or whatever, all this other crap that they teach you in the church. But it felt so right doing it. I felt so liberated, and I felt so at peace. You know what I mean? Like, the more I kept doing it, the further I studied it, and I got connected to it, I felt that this is where I belonged. Was in the crafts. Mostly, I found the crafts mostly from the spiritual side of it, with connection to goddess, God, and nature. But then as the further I got down, I practiced more of the witchcraft side of it, and the spell casting and magic. It's, to me, I am a witch. I do practice witchcraft, but I do practice witchcraft from more of a spiritual sense and or religious sense, if that makes sense. So that's how I got into it. Trying to think. Like, come up with another question, if you guys would please. Look at my crappy smile. But anyway, I'm trying to think of something else to talk about here. I have a story. I don't think I ever came out with this story on my in a regular video. How I came out of the closet, not the broom closet, but the gay closet. This story, let me tell you, I didn't come out of the closet. I was technically forced out of the closet. For years, since I was about 8 years old, I always had thoughts about boys. I always wanted to kiss boys and all this. It wasn't until I was like 10, no, 11 or 12 when I hit puberty is when I started thinking dirty thoughts about boys, if you catch my drift. And I would write, I had a journal that I had from when I was like 12 to 15. I would always write in my journal. I always hid it because I don't want no one reading it. When I was, was it 14 or 15? I think I was 15. 15, my mom, we were living with my grandma and grandpa. Do you use herbs or more crystals for your magic? Okay, 1 second. I'll get right to that when I get finished this story. What the hell was it? My mom, when I came home one day, was like giving me the dirtiest look, or that I'm gonna kick your ass look. I'm like, oh shit, what did I do this time? Because I got in trouble quite a bit when I was a teenager. And she looked at me like, is there something you need to tell me? I was like, what are you talking about? She pulled out my journal. I was like, oh, fuck. She found my journal on the floor. I'm like, no, you didn't. You went through my dresser. I'm not stupid. But, so I started crying and bawling my eyes out because I thought she was going to disown me. Turns out she didn't disown me. She told me, well, no fucking duh. I already knew you were gay. I was just waiting for you to fucking come out of the closet. Both my mom and my dad said the same thing. But anyway, do I use more herbs or do I use more crystals? Oh. If I think about it, I actually use more herbs. Definitely more herbs. I have a shit ton of herbs. I have more than 100 types of herbs in my cabinet right now. Because I don't have enough crystals to be considering using crystals more. So, which I'll do a tour of that eventually. I probably don't have all of them that I used to have, but I had more than 100 herbs in my cabinet. Some of them I've never used before, as I'm still studying a shit ton about herbs. Damn, that's a lot. Some of my herbs I haven't even touched yet, because when I was with my ex-husband, when I was with, I almost said Cyrus, Draco, he ordered like over 100 herb sets, and most of them I kept, so I gotta start experimenting with some of them. Now, what was the other thing? Fuck. Let's just get into like my favorite type of herbs or my favorite not candles, you dumbass. Favorite colors, etc., and all that stuff in the craft. My favorite herb to work with would have to most likely be rosemary. What was the other one? Rosemary and I'd have to say lavender. Rosemary and lavender, because to me they both just smell amazing and they're you can just get your hands on it so damn easily. Same with cinnamon, and cinnamon's another one. Because when I first started the craft, I had to hide it because I didn't know how my family would take it. Love lavender. I know, right, girl? Lavender is amazing. That, and when I lived with my grandma is not accepting of witchcraft at all, so I had to hide it. So, like herbs like lavender, cinnamon, and rosemary, those are herbs you can easily get your hands on because they're technically cooking herbs, except lavender. Well, it can be, but it's gross when you eat it. Ugh. But like the other two, cinnamon and rosemary, you can get your hands on it like that at the dollar store. Like they have a little thing like that for 99 cents, and no one thinks anything of it because they think you're using it for cooking. Because I am big into cooking. I was going to school for culinary after I graduated from high school, so they knew that I liked to cook, so they didn't think nothing of it. My favorite scents in the world. Now it's between Nag Champa, which I have a shit ton of it in my little cabinet thing. Nag Champa, sandalwood. I think like anything citrus scented, like lemon, limes, and like I said, rosemary and lavender again. Those scents to me are all relaxing. And not only that, just anything like sweets, like any kind of fruits, basically. Not cotton candy. Cotton like I don't know why people would use cotton candy scented incense and oils and shit. Like it stinks to me. I can't stand cotton candy. Huh? That's the same thing with me too. For some reason, the lavender oil, like I can use the herb, but if I burn the oil or even put it in water, it makes me itch like crazy. I don't know why. Even if I dilute it, it still makes me itch. Like it's really strong. Um, the craft, I got into it. Basically, long story short, found the book called Gothcraft. I got into it when I was 15 turning 16, or I was like 14, 15. I don't remember. It was one of those. I've been practicing it for 8 years now. Is it 8 years? Yeah, no, yeah, I turned 15. No, it was literally the month before I turned 16. So technically 15 still, but I'm going to count it as 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, I've been practicing it for 8 years now. Book of Shadows, I started keeping one about 3 or 4 months into my craft. It was literally nothing more than a blank composition notebook. But I didn't call it a Book of Shadows, I called it my grimoire at first. I didn't call it a Book of Shadows. And the book has been gone through so much damn transformations because a couple of them got damaged because my grandmother found one, got thrown out. I used to keep binders. I had it on a computer at one time. Some of the spells and some of the rituals and things got lost over the years. I even had like 2 other Book of Shadows. I don't know what in the living hell happened to 2 of my Book of Shadows, and I'm pissed. I lost 2 of them when I moved. But my main one, hold on one second, let me go grab it real quick. My main book, the one that I actually use right now, which is this bad boy. I've had this for over a year. Draco bought this for me for my 23rd. Was it my 23rd? Yeah, my... No, it couldn't have been my 23rd birthday. I think it was my 22nd birthday he bought it for me. I forgot. I think I've had it for more than a year. But this is my current Book of Shadows. It's literally... The thing is, it was actually red at one time, but I left it in the sunlight, and it turned brown. Because the back of it's still red. And I literally just... It's a tree... Celtic Cross tree. I took it and colored it in with silver marker. I did have a dragon amulet in the front, but I took it off. Because it weighed down the damn thing too much to the point where it was damaging the spine. Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to show a little bit on the inside of it. I had to change the front part, which I had to recolor it. Because when I changed my name, I liked the original design that I had for it, but I changed my name and everything like that, so I wanted to change the design for it and whatnot. I even have, like, Baphomet in here. I tea-stained half of the book, because I only wanted half of it to be tea-stained, not the whole book. Where the hell? Information on the circle and how to cast it and everything like that. This is one of my most proudest pages. I hand through everything. How to smudge and what smudging is, the history of it, cleansing and consecrating your tools, moon phases, your basic witchcraft stuff is in here. For the moon phase, I actually have this little pamphlet thing. It has a fold out, and it has all the full moons and what zodiac signs and what they're used for. What else? This is like Samhain ritual. What else? What else? I also do have the herb section of the book, which this is so interesting how I'm doing this. My herb section had these little open little pamphlet things that open up. And I'm going to have a picture of the herbs in each one of them. I only put the herbs that I've used and or experimented with in my book. If I've never used it before, I've never heard of it, it's not going in here. Because to me, the Book of Shadows, tinctures and herbal remedies, I actually used to. I stopped doing it. I don't know why. I used to make a tincture specifically for depression. I got the recipe from Lady Grave Dancer, Tequila. I love her. For antidepressant. Now I just switched back to taking just St. John's wort itself, the pills. And I changed the recipe though. She uses vinegar. I use the original one, which was with vodka, because I can't stand vinegar. Vinegar makes me want to throw up. What else was it? I also made tinctures to help me go to sleep. What was it? Tinctures for migraines, and what the hell was the other one? There was a couple other tinctures I used to make, but I stopped making them because, like I said, I've been lazy as a living hell. I also do make incense. I make handmade incense. I make my own candles, which I'm still experimenting with how to make candles, because for some reason when I make candles, they don't burn properly. They don't release scent, even though I load the shit out of it with a shit ton of oils and scent fragrances. It doesn't work for some reason. So it's all trial and error of how to work with it. I also have this, which is a prayer to Raven, which is my animal totem. One of them. I have two, the raven and the cat. I think that's all I got in here. Is it? Oh no, then I was working on a binding spell. What I did was any kind of spells that are like, what would you call it? Considered a negative spell. I darken the shit out of the page and write with it in it with a silver marker. Just because, why not? That looks cool and creepy. Oh Lord, where do I begin with that shit? What is the worst thing that's ever happened to me when a spell backfires? Let me listen, Linda, listen. When I was a teenager, my dumbass, I was like 15. I think it was only a couple months into me practicing the craft, so that I had this one ex-boyfriend who I absolutely loved to death. Wouldn't come back to me. So my dumb teenage ass decided to cast a spell to bring back my ex. No, never again. It backfired so bad. He came back, but he only wanted sex. He only wanted sex, and he became, like, horribly, psychotically obsessed with me. Ugh, God. It was just a mess. It was a nightmare. It was a fucking nightmare. I will never, ever, ever cast a love spell again. Like that. That was bullshit. Then, we did get back together, like my stupid ass did. And he broke up with me. He kept breaking my heart repeatedly, so the spell backfired horribly. What is another spell I cast that backfired? I'm trying to think. I think that's the only one I can remember. I know I messed around with a few more hexes when I was a teenager, because when I first started, I was a naive dumbass. Like, when you're young, you make mistakes and you learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Promise me Kaya Knight has learned his damn lesson in a lot of things in life. Yeah, a couple of hexes actually. But I just, like I said, I don't remember. Oh, no, I remember another one. Um, I decided to try hexing somebody who bullied me in school. I tried making their life a total living hell and miserable, and it backfired because I remember that my family got evicted from our house. One of my parents lost their damn job, and we lived with my grandparents. Notes: don't cast spells just because people piss you off. Um, or cast spells out of revenge. It never fucking works. But like I said, when you're new to things, you start to learn. You will learn from your mistakes. Which, trust me, like I said before, I have learned from my mistakes. What else? I'm trying to think. So did I. I learned. Trust me, I learned my lesson the very hard way. Because, see, I'm a little bit of a stubborn ass. I'm a Taurus. We don't listen for shit until we get burned, which I did. Um, what else? Jeez. I can't think of a damn thing. What, like, I'm gonna come up with something like, what is my favorite type of magic to work with? My favorite type of magic to work with is either healing magic and or protection magic. Because, oh yeah, girl, Aquariuses are just the stubbornest Tauruses. They're the two most stubborn sign in the freaking zodiac, are Aquarius and Taurus. Yeesh. Trust me, I used to date Aquarius. They're freaking stubborn. My mom's actually an Aquarius, and she is it's probably where I got it from. She is one of the most stubborn people on the planet. Shit. It runs in my family, actually. What am I talking about? But I can't tell you how many times I didn't teach people about the craft. I just like told them about it. And they did the same damn crap. They would make a Ouija board out of freaking paper. I'm like, it's not a toy. I've actually, one of my ex-boyfriends stole my Ouija board after messing with it when I told him not to. Because I came home, when I was with him, I came back to my house and it was out in the open. I told him, did you use the Ouija board? No, I didn't use the Ouija board. Next thing you know, he's sitting here telling me he has spirits following him. I'm like, fucking mundane people, I swear to God. Like, you tell them don't do it, like, it's not a toy, it's dangerous. It can become very dangerous, and they do it anyway. And then they're gonna want to go around and scream that witchcraft is evil. It's not evil when your dumbass don't listen to fucking rules. There are repercussions to playing with the other side. You know what I mean? Trust me, I've been there, done that shit. Has anybody ever, let me ask everybody this. Does anybody ever have mundane, that's what I call people who are not witches, people, as soon as they find out that you're a witch, the first thing they do is they ask, can you cast a love spell for them? I get that shit all of the time. As soon as they find out that I practice witchcraft, that is the first word that comes out of their mouth. Can you cast a love spell for me? Right? And I say, hell no, I'm not casting a love spell. I don't fuck with that shit. I mean, I could, but I'm not doing it. Right? And it's like, literally every damn time. That, or do I worship Satan and all that shit, or eat babies? Basically the most offensive crap. Or hex somebody, that too. Like, they'll come to me when they're pissed off at someone, like, this so-and-so did this to me, can you make their life a living hell and hex them for me? I'm like, you got the wrong bitch. Next. Like, I'm not doing that shit. I will only hex somebody for someone if it's for protection, or basically, yeah, like for protection, if that person will not leave them alone, they're harassing them, they're threatening them, then I will jump in. But if it's just because someone's pissing them off, that's another question that ooh, girl, let me tell you. When they ask that, can we bring someone back from the dead? I just look at them like they're stupid. Or stop from someone from dying. That's actually something very touchy because a lot of people who ask me questions about witchcraft, when they're trying to debunk it to me, like they argue with me about whether it's real or not, that's the first thing they bring up is why can't we bring someone back from the dead or stop somebody from dying? Which, that's a good discussion. I always tell them magic is literally just the cause of change based with energy and everything like that. But there's also something called destiny. The universe has things planned out a certain way, and you can't interfere with it sometimes. Which is how I explain to people sometimes spells don't work because the universe don't want it to. You're literally sending your energy out to the universe, and sometimes destiny, or whatever everyone calls it, doesn't have it in its plan for that to happen. Exactly. And magic does have magic always comes with a price. Even like say for example, like something simple as a job spell or prosperity, even like a job spell to get a job, you have the consequence to it because sometimes it could backfire and you get somebody else fired and you get the job. Sometimes, not every time though. Or even with things like that. You have to specifically state your intentions that you don't want someone to get fired, but even then, well, even then sometimes it may not work. But I always tell people magic can't always affect everything. There's destiny, there's something set in stone. Your death is already planned as soon as you're put on this planet. So you cannot stop your death. When it's your time, it's your time. You have to die. It's a natural cycle. That too, and if we could stop death, we would screw over the entire cycle of life. It would, all kinds of shit would break loose. It would be chaos. The earth would be overpopulated, and everything like that. Death exists for a reason. Like, without death, life won't exist, and without life, death won't exist, etc., etc. That's always a touchy subject when it comes to people who don't practice witchcraft. If they refuse to believe in magic, sorry. That's fine. I just tell them, to each their own. You can believe what you want to believe. I'm not going to stand here all damn day and argue with you about whether witchcraft is real or not. I don't care. Now, like I said, when they ask a stupid question, oh my god, girl, I can't stand it when people fucking ask those stupid questions. Or they ask, do you eat babies and have orgies and all this other shit? I'm like, no, I don't eat babies. I'm like, now, I'm not trying to just like think the orgy. I'm like, now, orgies is not required. Oh, that's a good question. That's a good one. I always tell people, orgies are not required in the craft. But if you go and have orgies, that's your business. Not every witch goes into orgies. Just saying, every adult has their own choices. I kind of might have participated in a few sexual endeavors like that, or dance to the moon naked. Some of us might perform rituals naked. That too, whether or not male witches or warlocks. That's because of freaking Hollywood, though. I always tell them male witches are considered witches in the crafts, unless that witch himself decides to identify as a warlock. It's whatever they decide to identify as. You have to ask, which they always ask 1,000 questions. But anyway, my very first experience using a Ouija board. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to remember if I used it before I was a witch or after I was a witch. It was actually, I think I was into the craft for about, I remember I was 17, so I was into the craft for about a good year and a half or 2 years. My cousin actually purchased an Ouija board. She brought it home. I casted a circle and everything like that and blessed the place. The very first time I ever used a Ouija board, we actually got in contact with a Native American spirit. The house that we lived in at the time was not buried over an Indian burial grave, thank God, but it had a couple spirits in there. Girl, let me tell you. The spirit wasn't pissed, it was actually the spirit of a child. We actually had a long conversation with the spirit. We didn't get scared for some reason. We were at first, but we actually felt perfectly fine, and so did I. I was like, okay, this is cool. Jeez, oh, jeez. Anyway, this is actually a question I get. I don't know if anyone else, I don't know if everyone else is a Wiccan or not, but I do get the question of why in Wicca are a lot of the males that people see gay. I'm like, oh, uh, it's not a requirement to be gay to be Wiccan. It's just that I always tell people that most likely a lot of gay men come to Wicca or even just the crafts because they're not judged in the crafts or Wicca. In Wicca, it doesn't say anything about being gay is wrong. It's actually seen that as long as you're not harming anybody, who cares? So that's why I tell them, like, not every Wiccan male is gay. It's just that a lot of them are predominantly gay, at least the ones I see. And I always get that question from people. And like I always explain, it's probably because it's a religion that doesn't judge gay people. And everything like that. And the gay people feel more loved. They feel normal and natural in the witchcraft or pagan community and everything like that. Which have you ever been part of a coven or have you always been solitary? Okay, I've actually was part of a coven, kind of. It wasn't an official coven. It was a coven that I formed when I was very young, which was a very naive thing to do. I think, well, how old was I? I know I was 18, so it was like 3 years into the craft. Me, my current boyfriend at the time, Draco, and my friend Mary, and my friend Allie, and my friend, the hell's her name? I have Autumn. We are all Wiccans, and we decided we wanted to form a coven and start doing rituals together. And we would. We needed a high priest for the group, which I wasn't anointed. I wasn't an official high priest. But we voted that I should be the high priest of the coven because I was the one who practiced the craft the longest, and I was teaching all of them Wicca. So I did have a coven. We stayed as a coven for at least a year, and then everybody felt they wanted to go their own separate ways after I taught them for a year, which was fine. I'm still friends with some of them. I'm still friends with Draco. I'm still friends with my friend Emily. Why did I say Emily? My friend Allie. I'm still friends with her. Mary, I don't know what happened to her. Autumn, I still don't know what happened to her. But it was like that for a while. After that, I've been solitary my whole life. The rest of my life. I shouldn't say the whole life. Dumbass. I'm such a dumbass sometimes. Most of the times I would practice with Draco, which I kind of miss that. But whatever happens. I've actually come in. This is the oddest thing. My drag family, my drag mom is Wiccan. Or more toward just a witch. And everything like that. And then my friend Dell, which is their roommate, is a Wiccan too. So I'm like meeting a bunch of people in the pagan community and witches and everything like that. What else? What else? Coven. Trying to think. I cannot think right now. So I think that's it for now so that we can make more videos like this. I'm going to end it because I have to go get my clothes out of the dryer and I have to get to bed. I do work tomorrow. I do want to say thank you everyone who did attend for this. I'm going to actually schedule an exact day and time so that everybody can get their little cabooses to the computer and interact. I want to do this a lot more. I love it. I already love this already because it allows me to interact with you guys in a more personal and like time to time basis. I would love to eventually do like an interview video with Tequila or what's his name? The Witchy Bear? Bear Witch? I think it's Witchy Bear. I think it's his name. But I'm gonna try to contact them and see if they would actually like to do an interview video or hangout video. The Witchy Bear. Thank you. Thank you. I would love to be in like one of their little interview videos. Thank you. I can't even read. I'm so blind. Irma? Irma? Is that your name? Alter is beautiful, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Speaking of, I'd also like to see your guys' videos. Or altar, like if you guys share your altar, just like send pictures to me or whatnot. If you go on Facebook, fuck. If you go on Facebook, I think my name is still Brian Parker, or you can even go to my drag profile, Ravenna Knights. It's not Nigth. It's like knights, like a knight in shining armor kind of knights with a S. I'll just link both my drag profile and my boy profile onto the video. I think I'm actually going to specifically make a Kyanite Enothera Facebook page. So, not like one of those little crappy fan page things, but an actual interactive page. So I can interact with everybody even more. Until, that's pretty much it for this. The next Witchy Chat video will be... I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. I will be doing... Yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I will do the video tomorrow at around 1 p.m. At around that time period, I'm going to get back on here and interact with everybody before I go into work tomorrow. So, until next time, merry part and blessed be.